Alright everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the F124 Driver Career Mode with Williams. This is episode 5 today for the Miami Grand Prix of Season 1. If you missed the previous episode, China, which was an episode of two halves, a good sprint, spoiler, and then another pit stop error, then you can of course go and check that one out. As well, it does give us 9 points now, and a secret meeting with McLaren. Yes, McLaren are interested in signing me for season 2 already, thinking about promotion as well. We'll have to wait and see what happens with this, but we're going to continue the talks with them. Although I'm not sure if we're actually going to be moving to McLaren for season 2.
Been scouring the socials and asking around, and I'm delighted to say that the team are none the wiser about us chatting with anyone else. And the meeting went well too. I know. I'm amazing. You're welcome.
She has a very big ego anyway. R&D wise, just on there's a few options available. Tyre wear, Albon's looking at. We've got weight reduction available. We have a major engine upgrade. Should only come in for Monaco. I'm kind of thinking that we should save that one, and we'll go with weight reduction because that will definitely help at Monaco. I think it's either that or tyre wear, but I think if Albon's looking at it, we don't have enough of front downforce yet. And I presume also the rear downforce will be available as well. So we'll purchase the weight reduction upgrade as well in time for Monaco. Oh, for goodness sake. Well, it's happened already. This is weight redistribution that Albon purchased, and Albon going to purchase it as well. So that's really annoying. Notice that also we've had the patch, so the performances have been updated. McLaren a lot closer to Red Bull now, ahead of the likes of Ferrari, Mercedes and Aston Martin. Or they're probably going to need another update as well based on yesterday's performances as well. But yeah, that puts Racing Bull, what you want to call them, AlphaTauri, Toro Rosso, ahead of us, and Sauber bottom.
Driver versus stopwatch. It is a venue that is new to Formula One in recent years, but you have to dance the car to the edge. It is Miami. It is qualifying. Who will take the pole?
And we've been pushed down to P20.
So, sprint qualifying again doing medium tyres on the first run, like I did in China. So I'll see if we can get. It's not amazing between the mediums and the softs, actually only 4 tenths up. I think we were like 1.5 tenths up in China in last week's episode, and we're actually 7 tenths up the previous best time. Miami is not a good track for me, and that's well, you know, shown with my qualifying performance as I qualified P18. Verstappen has a penalty for the sprint, not the race, that 5 lap for illegal blocking, so he'll be down in 6th for the sprint. I'll be starting P18. Let's just get this episode over with, and then we don't ever have to come racing at this track again on F124.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend.
I'm going to choose mediums for this sprint, not softs. It is a little bit of the safe option, but I think the tyre wear might just be slightly too high on the soft tyres here as well. So 5 lights for the sprint here at Miami, and away we go. And it's an okay start, better than Hulkenberg as well. We're going to take the racing line here and go around the outside. They're too busy focusing on the other themselves, and they just left a huge gap on the racing line. I'm up to P12, well P13 is still side by side with Daniel Ricciardo, but I should have the inside line, and Ricciardo should hopefully yield, which he eventually does as well. But already the OP traction that the AI have on F124 and their increased race pace as well compared to qualifying pace is already starting to show. Yes, this is not a good track for me anyway. Hasn't been, you know, I didn't race here at all in F123, and actually I'm going to send it on Stroll here in the middle of this twiddly section, which is just a dreadful section for making overtakes, but I'm going to get the move done as well. Crucially, it just can't be stuck. You know, I've got to make the moves while I can, because, you know, if they start spreading out, which they won't, but they will, then, you know, they will eventually actually just run away. So I'm going to send it on Ocon as well, and move up to P10. So that's a good move there as well. Ocon is going to try and come back at me, but except he's not, because he's going to lock up at turn 1. Spoiler alert for the rest of the episode, you're going to see a lot of that, because here comes Stroll. Stroll got past Ocon with that lock-up, and what does Stroll do at turn 1? That's right, he locks up, and that allows Ocon back past him as well. Meanwhile, up at the front, it's Charles Leclerc who leads the right way ahead of Sergio Perez as well. So Leclerc going well as well. McLaren not living up to what they have on paper there. They're down in P8 and 9 as well. Remember, Norris won this race, was actually pretty quick around here, but in the sprint they're not doing so well as I defend from Ocon. And there's contacts with Ocon. I think he had Stroll on the inside. Let's have a replay of this. So on board with Ocon, and again, just look at the speed that he's able to have. I block off aggressively there to keep the inside line, and then yeah, there was contact. Was Stroll on the outside? Yes, he was. So that is more on Stroll than anyone else. As Ricciardo's had a lock up as well. The AI seem to like to lock up a lot now, as well as that is Lance Stroll trying to go past. And again, this is just for pride, really. There's no points for P10 in the sprint. You can see that I don't have the pace on the top 9, which, you know, I'm in the Williams as well. I think I do need an ERS upgrade. I do need also maybe lower the AI between quali and the races as well, because they seem to have better race pace than quali pace on F124, where on past they usually have better quali pace than race pace. And that Stroll locked up. I actually hit the rear end of Stroll, lucky not to get damaged there, but yeah, Stroll locked up and came out way behind. Now Ocon is trying to go past with DRS, and what we're gonna actually, I'm going to stay behind him here as well. Albon hits me there as well. I went a bit too deep, not wanting to go deep there, but as well, as we go for this horrible section as well. They really need to just take that bump out, just straight line that section. There we go. Again, the DRS zone is not long enough at this circuit as well, but then again, I don't really want it to be long enough in the game, but in real life it needs to be a lot longer, as I'm going to get past Esteban Ocon with a bit of DRS. He has the inside line as well. There's the DRS detection point. The next bit, he cuts across aggressively. We're just going to basically go past. Not a lot of ERS to play with. Again, I do need that update. R1's now down the inside. I'm going to go through the middle of them as well and retain what is P10. What a miserable P10. R1's coming again. This time with DRS as well. Haven't really worked together with Albon so far, and they're all coming with DRS. Jesus Christ. And as well, we're going to try and force out a few people. Keep Albon in front. We'll get the DRS from Albon. Use none through this horrible little section. Again, it's the ERS games. Not quite as good as in China, but I mean, it is using the ERS as possible. And look at, you know, they always out traction me slightly on the corner. As well as I used a bit of overtake there. It's not as bad as F122's traction out that corner, because they could gain like 6/10 even if you're in DRS there as well on F122, but they do have some reason top end speed against you as well, and some mid-speed corners as well, as you see on this one is actually, I think, is worse. But let me know what you think about this in the comments below, as we've got banging tyres, this one with Ricciardo. I forced Ricciardo deep to force him offline into the path of Ocon and keep behind then Albon on the final lap. This is to keep P10. This is for P10. I think we'll take P10. You know, Williams are not there yet. We need some more upgrades on the car for sure. And as soon as we get those upgrades, start to get those major upgrades on the car, I think we're going to be a lot closer to the top 10. Start challenging for a consistent points. But at this moment in time, the car's not there yet, and you know, we need to sort some things out in the races as well. For me personally speaking, but there we go. P10. Considering where I qualified and down in P18, it's a good start. Hopefully now I can get a better qualifying position for the race as well. Leclerc winning then. You know, they got stuck in their DRS train again as well. There was two of them, one behind Leclerc and the other behind myself. So yes, well, we'll see if I can improve on P18 as a starting position. It's time for qualifying for the main Grand Prix.
Driver versus stopwatch. It is a venue that is new to Formula One in recent years, but you have to dance the car to the edge. It is Miami. It is qualifying. Who will take the pole?
Now this is what you've all come to see. Max Verstappen had an engine failure in qualifying. This is qualifying. He's pulling over. Yeah, and he's out qualifying, so he'll be last as well. Interesting to see where he comes as we get a good bit of slipstream there down the main straight. Not really where I want it. I prefer it down the back straight, but there we go. First round was P16 Norris P18. Expect him to improve as well. Albon with a stinker as well in qualifying. So slightly think also this track doesn't suit the car as well. 3 tenths up though through the first sector as I come through this horrible bit DRS zone. I mean, I hate this DRS zone. You know, I don't like. I've got to admit, I don't like this track. I don't think it promotes racing. Yes, we saw a Grand Prix winner for the first time in the form of Lando Norris in real life, but which is one of the main reasons why I brought it back. But on this game, it's just, well, this game isn't really fun to race. But you know, this track is one of the worst as well. Anyway, I've talked through the lap. I'm a tenth up. I've lost time. Compared to the first sector. That is annoying as well as we go down to the hairpin as well. Try and hit the apex there, a little bit wide, out the final corner. Just final couple of corners up to the line. What will this be? 29.1, and it's only good enough for P17. So it is a improvement. But it's a one position improvement. Alonso then takes pole ahead of the two Ferraris. The sort of 2x2x2. I'm not really entirely sure what happened with Alonso, considering the fact that he shouldn't be anywhere near that based on on where the Aston has been recently as well. Albon with a shocker there. 30.6, that's Sargent pace. So yeah, well, we'll see what we can do from the 17th grid. It's time for the race day's Miami Grand Prix.
Welcome to the Miami International Autodrome, home of the Miami Grand Prix. This exciting track circumnavigates the Hard Rock Stadium, home to the NFL outfit, the Miami Dolphins. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 3.36 miles of track around Hard Rock Stadium, and 19 corners make up the Miami International Autodrome, which will challenge the drivers in a tight wheel-to-wheel race. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Fernando Alonso yesterday puts him on pole position. A very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Perez, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Russell, Hamilton, Stroll, Tsunoda, Ocon, Gasly, Ricciardo, Bottas, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Phoenix, Joe, Albon, and Max Verstappen completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And we welcome you to the commentary box overlooking the circuit. I'm Alex Jakes, and I'm joined by Anthony Davidson. Paddock chat earlier in the weekend that this driver had discussions with another team this week. How does that work from a driver's point of view? Things seem comfortable, they seem stable right now, that's a positive, but do they need to be pushed to the next level? Now, those final hours before a race, did you have a routine?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
I know you're frustrated to be this far back on the grid, but you've got to keep that under control. Keep a cool head and work your way through the field gradually as you go. It's not all going to be won or lost at the first corner.
I'm hoping we can do what I did at the start of the sprint, round the outside and, and just, gain about 6 or 7 positions. That'll get us up into the points as well. Race strategy is a bit interesting. Hard to medium maybe as well. One thing I do need to do is start lowering the fuel loads in these races, in the career mode races, which I haven't done yet. Enough off. Maybe half a lap over is possibly the way to go, possibly. Anyway, 5 red lights and away we go for the Miami Grand Prix. And it's a poor start from Ricciardo there. He's going to go to the inside line. Thank you very much. I'm going to head to the outside. And it's pretty much a similar move to what I did in the sprint, although Ocon decided to swipe across. And we're going to get in front of Tsunoda as well. And it's actually been a very good start. As well, but I'm up to P11 as well as and up at the front, both Hamilton and Piastri have lost their front end plates at the start, and the AI in this game don't pick for front wings as well, so they will be slower, which is going to give me a little bit of advantage over them if we can get past Gasly. First I've got to defend from Tsunoda, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Tsunoda actually makes contact as well. He's still there. I'm just going to have the inside line for this corner as well. Thought about having to go up Gasly in that corner, but I'll have to wait to get past the Frenchman. DRS enabled on that one. Didn't ask that for vehicle condition, but Mark decided to blank me there. We're going to get down the inside of Gasly, and I think this is the textbook move that you could do at Miami there at turn 1, and comfortably move up to another position. Meanwhile, at the front, Leclerc, he's taken the lead in front of Alonso at the start. So Leclerc, he won the sprint. Can he go on to win the race as well? Close those points on Verstappen potentially as well. Piastri's now in front of Hamilton. I thought about getting Hamilton through this bit again, like we did to Stroll in the sprint, but I'll have to wait. And now I've recharged the battery, and now it's time to utilise it, although even then 3.5 tenths up as well. I'm not really gaining, we saw how close they were as well, but then again they are using their battery effectively there as well. Now we're going to get Piastri actually round the outside. He's been shoved off by Hamilton and it's comfortably up to overtake there and up to P9, so I'm making a little bit of progress here as well. I'm defend from our Piastri, but Piastri comes back in that DRS zone, and there's just, well, as I say, I've just got to hope and pray that I've got enough ERS to defend with there, and a bit of DRS as well, although we've got a DRS failure. Say goodbye to the DRS, by the way, because we're not going to be seeing it again this race. So yes, this just got tougher. I've got no DRS to make these overtakes. I have got ERS to try and get past Hamilton as well. And DRS, I think if it was a power for F123, I think we'd see a bit more overtaking on this game. But there we go. As I come up to the line, then it's certainly personal best. Piastri's in front of Hamilton as well. I did think about letting Piastri go, but he's so slow through the corners, some of the corners, and then obviously through the mid-speed and the high-speed corners on this new patch where it's a bit more overspeed. I was saying that Piastri's locked up and he's gone behind Hamilton there. So those two are going to battle, and that's going to give me a breather to try and run away, because it's very hard to run away from the AI in this game as well. They seem to, even win the patch, it's very hard. They don't seem to battle it throughout. And Hamilton's locked up as well, and he's going to go into now battle side by side with Gasly. Meanwhile, up at the front, Alonso and Leclerc swapping places left, right and centre. Leclerc is on a one-stop, but from soft to hards rather than medium to hards for him, like everyone else is pretty much doing as well. And that's Tsunoda coming through. He's got past Hamilton, and now he's going to try and get past Pierre Gasly. He should be able to get past Pierre Gasly. The AlphaTauri is a much better car than the Alpine as well. As I'm trying to recap, I think now it's a good time to let Piastri go and see what kind of race pace he's going. But you can see there, 8.5 tenths already to Stroll, and that gap's just going to keep on growing. But Piastri's not gotten away from me, and down the inside at the hairpin, neither of us have got DRS, but I got a bit of overtake, so it's not the end of the world, but there has to be the right circumstances, and the AI are a little bit too overpowered potentially in some scenarios, and I can't quite put my finger on where that is, as Hamilton locks up again and loses a position to Tsunoda. I've gone an extra lap to lap 10, just because the tyre wear is there. Piastri's going to go on for another lap, so we'll see where he comes out as well. DRS is still disabled as well. It's a good turn in, however...
Joking. Not another one?
For goodness sake. Am I destined to have pit stop errors in every single race in this career mode now? Because it's the only one that I didn't have. One was in Jeddah as well. If I'm 4 in 5 races is shocking. That's what I now know what it's like being Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu in real life. Anyway, the chance of points are gone as well. You see Hamilton's broken out DRS, Tsunoda's in front of him, and Verstappen as well, who undercut everyone. So this is just for pride against Magnussen. Down the inside turn 1, and I'm just going to barge myself the way through like K-Mag would do to me in real life, and obtain P12, but its points have really gone as well. Again, Magnussen's coming. We've got Ocon in the way as well. Magnussen on medium tyres, so he's done the alternative strategy again, like Haas like to do as well, and again tyre banging with K-Mag. Excuse me, as Ocon, the gap narrowed there. Just about finding enough room to go down the middle there, but that gap narrowed. That narrowed, and I saw racing. Well, I could have just ended it there, but fortunately the gap then widened, so as well as Ocon does get in front of Magnussen. But yeah, there is Max Verstappen. He's now up to P7, I think he is. So he's ahead of Piastri, and he's doing very well now. And I think he's up to P8 actually, not P7, because he hasn't caught up to Russell yet. But yeah, Russell and Stroll there he is on the mini-map. Piastri and Tsunoda and Hamilton are all together. As that is Magnussen now, and another go at me again, just trying. Still got no DRS. They're apparently trying a fix, and nothing's working apparently. Yeah, it's annoying. that I can't use it, but there we go. As well, just again defending against K-Mag, and this time I don't want to be here. Come on, and we got finally just about got that one with Ocon on the outside there as well. Yes, that was 3 wide through that section as well, with Ocon and Magnussen as well. You know what those two are like as well, and that's Verstappen. He's got past George Russell, so Verstappen has come from last to finish to be in P7. That's the advantage when you've got a Red Bull compared to everyone else, although he was struggled in the first part as well. Again, Ocon has centred down the inside, but now he's not got DRS, so I'm able to use overtaking the advantage and retain P12 as well. And we're watching Magnussen as well. He's having a look at, no, he's not looking at Ocon, because K-Mag is out the race, which is a shame for him. He's on for P13. Good result for Haas. Now, I don't know what's happened to Zhou and Albon, but they've been cut adrift from my little train of cars, so they are a little bit way off the back, fighting for the wooden spoon, not really where Albon wants to be. So I think this is the shortest train I've caused on F24 so far, as well as they're down the middle again. This time the gap didn't narrow there between Ocon and Bottas as well. But yeah, very, very disappointing. I was on for points again, and once again the pit crew have denied me points. It is another disappointing result in, another non-point scoring Grand Prix, excuse me, as we had our points in the sprint. Yeah, this needs to be sorted out. And the pit stops are atrocious. We need a clean pit stop in the next race, especially as it will be Monaco as well. Albon P18, very disappointing. You can see the DRS trains law there as well. So yeah, I think Stroll's going to go past us in the Drivers' Championship, so the chance of a top 10 finish is probably out the window, unless this gets fixed. Verstappen's lead has been cut to 13 points by Leclerc, so we'll see what happens there. Ferrari moving in as well. Sauber, that 3 points is probably the last they're going to score now as well. As we go to the ratings, we gain experience, racecraft and awareness, but pace, they tried to fix it and they've broken it again. Yes, I'll show you why. Experience, also the racecraft is a little bit still broken. Because I don't think I made over 36 overtakes in this race, but there we go. Avoided penalties as well, good awareness there, apparently. There we go. No warnings there. But race pace, apparently margin to fastest lap. I know I'm not fast at this game, but 4 seconds. I'm not 4 seconds slower than the fastest lap, thank you very much. So, yes, that needs to be fixed. But then there's so much on this game that needs to be fixed. Like, I think if I was to list every single thing that was broken or things that I just didn't like about this game, I think there'd be enough to write one of those big university textbooks, because there is just so much wrong with this game as well. And the thing is, they don't have QA testers at Codemasters. It's why stuff like this only actually gets discovered with people actually playing the game and reporting back. Recognition wise, I'm now up to 45%, which means we can now rush R&D upgrades as well. I'll lose a bit with the 2 manufacturing and power unit consultants, but I gain on the other 2 as well. So yeah, now to try and stop pit stops failures, I don't know if it's related to the fault frequency or not, but I'm going to turn this down to low. It was on standard, which is the highest one, so I'm going to turn it down to low, see what happens with that, whether or not this changes anything or not. I don't know. In terms of the next race, that's at Monaco, I got a little bit angry and vented as well. So Monaco will be out next week. I could not do Miami and Monaco in the same weekend. I need to see something where I'm not getting a 2 minute pit stop every race. So later this week will be something a little bit different as well, with career mode at Monaco back to next week. That'll be next week, just to improve my sanity of having miserable pit stops as well. And then Montreal, I don't know if that will be out next week as well. That depends on how Monaco goes. If Monaco goes well, then I might be motivated enough to record Montreal. If not, then that will be out the following week as well. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it for today's video. If you've enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I see plenty more F124 driving sim videos and other F124 game players when they come out. Until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.